Boss Ladies Social Group, and I'm Every Woman Magazine, first recording of Domestic Violence Awareness.
Okay, well, I'm Deatrice Jones. They call me DJ. I'm LPN. I'm 49 years old. I have three children. They are 30 and 28 and 22. I have three grandchildren, 9 and 6, and I just had one last year. Wow, the time is gone, isn't it? He's going to be one November 24th. Well, that's me. I'm always doing something. I'm always going to college for something, learning something else. But um, I used to go to college all the time until I started getting a domestic violence issue with I can't go anywhere or I can't be with family. So back in 2008, I want to say is when things had started with my new boyfriend that I had. I had a husband from 1996 to 2006 who passed away in 2006 from COPD and different older, seemed like people ailments. Then in 2008, I met somebody at work. And this one, he appeared to be just as charming. He was charming with the other women there, not knowing he was being charming with the other women there. So it became a close relationship to where he moved in with me. When everything went fine, I don't know how far to begin with it, but I guess I would say the first incident that you would call some form of abuse was when we went to his mother's house Thanksgiving, and he argued with me going there because there was a particular girl that was going to be there. Family not knowing that I was coming, and I guess he tried to argue to where we was going to go to somebody else's house. But I stood my ground and said, no, I want to go meet your mother. And that's where the argument came in that way. When we was driving, he was drinking beer, and he threw the beer in my face. That's where the first uh, strike of abuse came in at, to where he talked me into going to his mother's house. Now, the only reason why he could talk me into it is because he already called the family and told them to get the girl out of the house so that I wouldn't see her. So the family already knew that he was a cheater. Later on in life, you find out the family knew that he was an abuser. All the women that he was married 4, 5 times, and he abused them. The three fiancées that he had that he didn't marry, he abused them also. So his children seen his abuse through the mother. So as time goes on, me being a nurse, finding out that he's bipolar and schizophrenic, I'm thinking that I can help him. I can get him into some programs, whether he do AA meetings or induct himself into a voluntary 7-day program. It was a 30-day program I thought he was going to stick with, but he only stayed there for 5 days. That's when I found out. Before that happened, I walked in on him smoking crack. The house smelled stale. And no matter how many candles I lit, every time I come home, the house would always smell stale. And then when I came home early one day, I found him in the bathroom. He didn't hear me come in, and he was smoking crack. So now I'm dealing with a drug abuser also. And on top of that, he drank every day. He would get a 12-pack of beer, and in the mornings he could drink a beer before he went to work. Smelled like beer when he went to work. We worked together. He was a CNA, and I was the nurse on the floor. So he worked another floor. Time goes on, as in years go on. We move from one place to the other, not knowing that he's putting me further out from my family. Now I'm 3 hours away. I'm at the
Isolating you.
beach. I was in Benson. The beach is 3 hours away. So now if anything should happen to me, it doesn't matter if I have an accident. Nobody can get to me for 3 hours. Um, but things will happen just a little bit at a time, whether it be a shoving match or arguing. Um, he would always keep me locked in the room with him. I'm in the room. We watch TV there. We go out into the kitchen. We have something to eat. We come back, but we come back, always come back in that room. So now to this day, I don't even like my door closed. If I go to the bathroom, it's open. I'm letting you know I'm going to the bathroom because the door is going to be open. So I haven't gotten off of that yet. Well, time has gone by, so now we've already done our fighting bit. He's already hit me a few times. Nothing that would show any scars. He's already belittled me, tell me how fat I am. I'm not gonna lose any weight. None of the family wants to talk to me. That's why they haven't come to where I am. Not realizing they're not driving that far. Usually I go that far to see them. Now we speed up to where if you can imagine maybe once a month you get into a fight, physical fight, then arguing. But there are no scars. But the inner you scars thinking if I just stay a little longer, he might change. Now there's a syndrome, I've done this in college, I did a paper on it, it's called Beauty and the Beast.
Mm-hmm.
Now beauty goes with the beast, knowing the beast was somebody before. And she figures if she stays with him long enough, she can change him back.
Mm-hmm.
But in the story, he changes back. But to you, he will never change. He won't change back. He'll stay the beast. As long as he can keep you as close as that he can keep you. It's up to you that you would have to leave out of that fairy tale. So I would say July 27th, 2012 is when the morning came to where we would crush cans. We had this thing that we did on the beach in order to pay rent. I had money for rent, but it was extra money for rent. So we would collect cans on the beach, and we crush the cans with the car every morning till we have 10 bags, 10 big bags of cans. And he would take them to the recycle bin and cash them in. And sometimes we make $300. Then the next week we do it again, so we would have the rent money. Then it got to where it would slack off to where I wouldn't get any of the money. So I'm working, I'm going to pay the bill. But when you get yours, give me half. Then that half started going into half to where I wasn't getting anything. So this particular morning, when you crushed the cans, it didn't have much. I think it only made like $100. So I didn't get it. So I'm at work, and he asked for money that we haven't gotten paid yet. We don't get paid at 12. He comes to my job at 9. Now I'm watching an older lady in her home. My landlord's mother, as a matter of fact. I'm watching her. So he comes and asks for some money, but we haven't gotten paid yet. So I said, you have to wait till 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock comes. The lady's sick, not knowing that the lady's sick who does the payroll. So I said, well, you have to wait till 2 o'clock when I get off, and I'll see the landlord. Well, he's already fired up because he didn't get to 12 o'clock. So whatever money he made off the cans, he's already smoked it up. So when I get off at 2, I go see about the money, and they said, well, they're not going to do the money just yet because there was a discrepancy in one of the days that he had worked. He worked along with me. He cleaned the hotel rooms. And one of the times was too long for him to have been there.
Okay.
What was 2 hours, he was 5 hours. So they had to talk to him about it. Couldn't talk to him until the next day. That next day fueled him. So by the time I get off work at 8 o'clock at night, when I go home is when he says, I already talked to the landlord. She said, you got the check, which I don't have the check. He's just making it up so I can give him some money. But anyway, time goes on. 8:30 rolls around. And I think 8:30 is probably when I got the first hint that his bipolar schizophrenia changes. So he doesn't look like him anymore. Now he's red and his eyes are red. He looked like he's been up all night. And it's when he tells me that he's tired of me making the money and wait for him to get the money when I get it. He wants it now, which I don't have. And then that's when the first punch in my eye comes. So then he closes the door and he says, I'm just going to have to, kids in the room, I'm just going to have to beat your ass in order to get it out.
Wow.
And that from 8:30 till 10 o'clock, I took that beating in the room, so I couldn't get out of the room. So he punched me in my eye. When I fell on the floor, he kicked me in my ribs. He stomped me in my back. He stopped a little while, keep asking for the money. Do I have any money on my card from the week before? 10:30, I get out of the house. He goes to get a wet washcloth to wash the blood off my face. In case somebody calls the cops, they can't see that on me. Then he takes the bed sheets that are already bloody from the beat, puts them in the washing machine. So in case they do come, doesn't have any evidence of any blood. So he wipes down the dresser, he wipes up the floor where the blood is at, and wipes off the chair that's in the room, so there's no evidence that anything has happened. So when he goes gets the second thing of water to rinse, that's when I leave out the front door and I run to the store, but there's nobody there. But I can hardly run because my ribs are hurting now from him kicking my ribs. I stayed gone, I don't think it was 3 minutes before he found me. And then he picked me up and took me back in the house. When he took me in the house, that's when we went back into the bedroom. He gets the knives and he starts stabbing me in the back of my legs. He said he's going to finish the job. He never said that he was going to kill me, but he just said that he's going to finish what he started, and he's going to finish the job. When he finishes, he's going to take me in the car, and he's going to take me over the bridge and throw me over it. Well, that almost happened. When we got to the bridge, I told him I needed to go to the hospital. So I can't see out of one eye, and the world is shaking on this side because my eye is going back and forth. So I lost the motor in that eye. And so I couldn't drive, not unless I closed one eye. So he drove, and I said, no, we'll go to the hospital. He said, no, when we get there, you'll call the police. And I said, no, we can't call the police because you're a CNA. Now, in the medical field, you can't have an assault charge on you, or you can't be licensed. And I told him we need to keep your license, so when I'm down and out, you can work. So I said, we'll just tell them that I fell down the stairs and I hit the spokes in your scooter that's always down at the end of the stairs. He always parks his motorcycle there. And he went with that. So we got across the bridge. So I made it across that bridge.
Thank you, God.
It's a 7-minute bridge, but that was the longest 7 minutes. And we got to the hospital, and then by that time I couldn't walk. So he had to bring the wheelchair to me. They wheeled me in. When they wheeled me in, everybody, it's like maybe 6 people in the waiting area looking at me. There's 2 people at the reception. And they asked, what happened? And I'm just sitting there looking straight. And he's above me with the wheelchair. There was nothing to say of what happened. And they asked him, what happened? So he's like nervous to say what happened. So then I cut in and said, I fell down the stairs. My face hit his spokes on the scooter. And the blackened eye on my cheek came from rolling down the stairs. So they went on ahead and took me back. The lady comes in. I'm trying to tell the lady, hey, he beat me up. But he's looking at her. So I couldn't say anything. So when she leaves, he tries to do this sweet talk. He tries to sweet talk me. Things will be better when we get back to the house. You know, I really messed your face up this time. I won't do it again. I realize I have a problem, and I'll go back into another rehab place if you want to. But I'm not answering him the whole time he's talking. So when he finally realizes he can't get through to me, he just sucks his teeth and says, oh, well, fuck it. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go to sleep. So he rolls over, and he goes to sleep. So I'm waiting for the x-ray technician to come in to give me a CT scan. They said they were going to try to do. Now, they say a guilty man sleeps is one that's nervous that doesn't sleep. So he went straight to sleep. And they came and got me and x-rayed me, and me and the guy were there by ourselves. And when he was by myself, we were by ourselves. His name is Wade. I never forget it. At the Outer Banks Hospital. I looked at his tag and I said, you're Wade. He said, yes, I heard your name. I said, listen, can you call the security policeman here? Let them know that I didn't fall, that he beat me up. He He said, oh, yes, ma'am. He said, we'll go ahead and we'll take care of that. So when the police came in, he said, well, you stay right here until we get him. Then you can hear him yelling and cursing and screaming. So she fell down the stairs. She hit the motorcycle. They telling him, no, she said that you beat her up. No, she's lying. She's lying. She fell down the stairs. He said, well, we'll let the judge figure that one out. So they handcuffed him. They took him away. Good. Then I come out. And that's what happened with that story. The end result being when I was at the hospital, they had to take me to Norfolk. The doctor said that my rib was broke. That's why I couldn't walk. Jesus. That my eye sockets, my under here, all this was crushed, and that this eye was drooping. Is why I didn't have any motor skill. My nose was disaligned, and I had the stab wounds on the back of my legs. So they shipped me to Norfolk, and I think 4 days later they did the surgery. They had to do the plastic surgery. They had to take the bone out and put in plates. So I had 2 plates under my eyes. I didn't need a binder because the hairline fracture to my ribs would heal in time. And the scars on the back of my legs, they would heal. I had no life-threatening issues, is why they couldn't charge him with attempted murder.
Wow.
I didn't have to have life-threatening surgery. I just had to have plastic surgery. And then as the doctor is talking about family and what happened to lead up to that, I had no memory. So I didn't know who to call because I didn't know anybody.
Wow.
And my phone died. So they were trying to find a charger to charge my phone. When they did, when somebody came on the clock, charged my phone, and the last number that called me was my brother. Before I got into the house, he called me and asked me, was everything okay? And I said, yeah. But when I got in the house is when everything started. So that last number they called, and they called my brother to let him know that I was in Norfolk and that I didn't know anything that was going on. So he came the next day. Because I think by the time I got to Norfolk, it was like 2 in the morning. Wow. So when he came there, some of my memories started coming back. But from the time of the beating to the present now, it's I don't have a lot of memory. Some things I do, I have to write it down. But in the medical field, I know what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. I don't have any problem with that. But it's the daily stuff that I can't remember. So if I have a conversation with you, and like now, I might not remember this tomorrow. Okay. But
short term.
The doctor said as long as I have contact with people, same people, keep going to work, keep going to see my family, that my memory will come back a little bit at a time. So it's come back some, but things that have happened, I don't remember. The kids, they always have to reiterate. Mom, we had this conversation just the other day. Remember we did so-and-so, and we talked about this, and I'm sitting, you have to tell me everything that we did. Oh, okay, now it's coming back. But sometimes it doesn't. I don't remember anything from the incident to now of what me and my kids did. I don't remember. Sometimes days later it might trigger, something will trigger and I'll remember it. But it's a day-to-day process with me. When I'm traveling, I always have to have the GPS on to remind me where I'm going. If I'm going to the store, I put the GPS on, so I'm going to Food Lion. And in 10 minutes, my voice will come on the phone saying, you're going to Food Lion. An alarm will go off. That reminds me where I'm going. Right. So even coming here, I know I'm leaving to go somewhere, but I don't know where I'm going. And then Misty will say, hey, where are you? And then, oh, okay. And then I look at the GPS. I'm 10 minutes away. Okay. So when I'm driving, I'm in La La Land. Okay. It just so happened she happened to text me at the time that the phone said you're 10 minutes away. So if she hadn't texted me, I'd have still been going. I done went to the south of the border and been playing and forgot all about you guys coming out here. But that's just the process. So I'm just dealing with it every day, and everybody understands it, and some people forget it. And even when I go to my brothers or my sisters, they were like, "What? So what are you talking about? Sounds like you're going around in circles." And then they, oh, okay. Well, this is what we're going to do. So then they have to remember that I can't remember.
Mhm.
So that's my story, and that's how that ends.
Wow.
We are honored to meet you, Ms. DJ. We're glad that you got through everything with the grace of God.
Mhm.
I'm so happy. Oh my God, can I give you a hug?
Oh.
Your story will impact so many different domestic violence, girls, women, men, anybody. Jesus. Thank God you got through everything. You
Yes.
have your eyesight. You're perfect. You're beautiful. You're here. You're in front of us. You're walking.
You know,
You
with
have
my
your memory?
eyesight, I can't turn to the right. I mean, I can go to the right, but sometimes it's better if I just look at you like that. If I close one eye,
Right.
to look over there, because if I don't close it, then I'll go crisscross, or everything over here will be blurry or double vision.
Right.
So I still have that, but I still have it to where if I take a DMV test, I can drive.
Right.
Okay.
It's just when I merge, I gotta close this eye to look over there.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So that's about the only thing right
Your
now.
legs, you can walk. You can walk.
Oh,
She
yeah.
walked in today, people.
Yeah,
Mhm.
She walked in. Thank God. God
Thank
can
you,
do
God.
anything.
Yes.
Miss DJ.
She's a
Oh
miracle.
my goodness.
Barbara have a question.
Miss Barbara has a question, but I have so many.
Yeah.
Do they have any type of therapy they recommend for you, or how do you feel today as a person, as a woman?
No, there's no. Some people get tired of me asking them the same question, so they'll say it's gotta be a pill. Have you seen the doctor? There's no pill. It's it's like amnesia.
Like
Just
counseling?
one day at a
There's-
time.
There's counseling, but my counseling would be I have to reiterate with family. As long as I'm with family and not the enemy or their side of the family, I'm straight.
Okay.
So his family, I don't remember them, but I know they're there.
I'm like, Jacoby, I'm gonna give you a hug.
Oh.
Survivor.
Yes.
Survivor.
Thank you.
To go through all of that with one man. Whatever happened to him? Did he go to jail?
Oh, good
and
question.
serve time?
That night when he went to jail, I think he had like a $50,000 bond on him for it was aggravated assault, attempt bodily harm with a deadly weapon, kidnapping because he kept
Mhm.
me. When I left, he brought me back. So I think he had 2 charges of kidnapping. So he had 4 charges on him, and a year later, when we went to court in October 2013, they gave him the 5 to 8 years. So he's doing 5. I think it's 5. Supposed to get out June 2017. And then I guess his schizophrenia bipolar came out for him not taking his medicine, and he did something with one of the guards. And so they're going to keep him until October now of 2017.
Okay.
If he does anything bad, they
Add
give him
to the
3 more
time.
months or something like that. So
Infractions.
I haven't been online to check to see if when he's coming out. My phone will ring and let me know if he's out.
Good.
But
Notification.
I've left the beach, so he doesn't know where I am. I'm not even worried about him finding me where I am because the other 8 brothers are waiting on me.
Okay now.
Lord is too.
Yes.
So I had to think with the neighborhood that if he was to come in my yard, they would call the police. If for some reason he had the 50,000 bail, and he would come to me. Now the people who are around me, where I lived at, they will call the police.
Good.
In the daytime, if I left my light on, they know that there was trouble. So I just started. I leave the light on off in the daytime and turn the porch light on. So if he was there in the daytime, I cut the porch light on, and for some reason, if he came at night, I cut it off, so they'll know between night and day that something's not right. But
That's
I left
good.
from there. I still keep in touch with the neighbors over there, but the neighbors that I know now, they know nothing about what's going on with me.
Okay. Yeah,
How do
another-
you feel as a woman As a woman, how do you feel as a woman?
Excuse me, can I give you a
Oh, another hug.
Jesus. That's touching my heart for real, y'all.
How do you feel as a woman, Miss DJ? Telling your story to different women. How do you feel as in dating?
It's not in my thought process. When my husband passed away, I didn't think that I would date. But then when the 2 years went by and I found somebody, it seemed like I think he did care about me. Every people at my job, they could see that, he was a good guy. But that schizophrenic bipolar, or if you don't give him what he wants, not knowing that he was on drugs at the time, and then therefore there lies the excuse. He was on drugs. That's my excuse. So then he turned,
Yes.
not knowing that he was going to turn anyway. He was bipolar schizophrenic.
Right.
So it had nothing to do with it.
It just escalated it.
But as a woman, I'm taking it one day at a time. And my mother, before she passed away, she said, "You always going with all these guys, or you always dating. Take time for you. You got out of one abusive relationship. Take time for you." But I never did. Even with my first husband, and when we were together for 10 years, I didn't take time for me. It was time. I got the next one, and he was my fiance. But then we left, and then after the fiance, I got married, and that was only for 2 years. And then after I left, then there was another fiance, till I met the right one in 1996, and I married him until he passed away. And he treated my 3 kids just like they were his. And I could never find that again because he was that one. There's only one of him. And I'm tracking him. But I never can catch him. So when I thought I had him in 2008,
Jesus.
when I met him, it's like, I don't know, 2 months later is when he turned to beast.
Wow.
And I could never get it back. From 2008 to 2012 is when I was trying. And then things wouldn't work out. So my mind was saying, next time we get into an argument, I'm just going to kick him out. But that argument left in me leaving.
That last argument.
Being in the hospital. So I'm not looking for anybody right now.
Okay, I have a question.
I'm not looking. I guess they'll stumble up on me. Or in God's plan, whoever comes to me will come to me. But right now, I'm working. I go to school every now and then I'll go see my kids and the grandkids, and I try to keep in touch with friends if I can remember. And it's just a day-to-day thing. Now I can talk to somebody introduce me to somebody, and I can hit it off great. But it's like as soon as they leave my mind, they're out of my eyesight. I don't remember them anymore. To call them, why haven't you called me? Who is this?
Oh, goodness.
So it's bad on them. I guess they didn't leave a lasting impression for me to remember.
Yeah. I have a question. One thing, what you said, like you stay in school, that's something I do too. Like you try to occupy your mind with continue always staying busy, so you won't focus on what really bothers you. And when you were talking, I could see a lot of what you go through to stay busy, because it's something about you. Well, I can say about me that I have a problem with, because first you start thinking about what was it about me that this person wanted to do this, wanted to hurt me. You know what I'm saying?
It's not
it
you.
Must be something about me, so you keep trying to improve yourself.
Right.
Whether it's physical or intellectual.
Right.
But if but that's something you deal with in your mind.
Yes.
You're trying to always make yourself better to you, because you don't understand why that person or these people do this.
Right. I want to make myself better for me.
Yes.
For me. Not
Yes.
because you was crazy, or because he was crazy for beating up on
But
me.
you know,
Right.
but that's
I
the
understand.
reality.
Right.
Yeah. That's why I say the mindset has
Yes.
to change.
But see,
Yes.
I was always in school. I went for data entry to EKG to phlebotomy, and finally I went to nursing. Before nursing, I was in law enforcement before I did nursing. So when it was time to get to the class or meet the officer for training, I had a height problem, 4'9". So I couldn't be a police officer. So then I went to nursing. That's how that transition came in. And I've been going to school ever since. And then when I met this guy, it was like everything stopped. You know, it stopped for him. I stopped calling friends, and I didn't go back to school. I hardly saw my brothers.
So what made you stop, you know?
He
It was him.
is the excuse. He made me stop. But with me, I stopped to try to help him better him and make him go to therapy for his bipolar schizophrenia, or go to the AA meetings so he could stop smoking, so he could stop spending my money. So I was working all the time. He had like 120-day habit from Thursday to Sunday, and years of this every weekend. You know, it was a weekend that didn't go by that I wasn't spending 120 a day, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And that's when he went on his sleep binge. And if I got paid Friday, I had to make sure I had that money for when that weekend came.
Oh, goodness.
So you wouldn't have any problem. But it didn't work out like I thought that it was going to work out.
Wow.
In your story, I love when you had to do reverse psychiatry on him. When you were in the bridge.
Yes, that was smart.
I love you.
Yeah.
She was thinking fast on her toes,
You know,
yeah.
I gotta go get taken care of. That is so smart.
Touching, yes.
That is very smart. Because
Yes.
some people can't think on their
Under
feet like
pressure and
Right.
all that.
I don't wanna do
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think I've been able to do that a lot. I watch a lot of True TV from the I'm trying not to snap. So what happened was, I almost snapped,
Mm-hmm.
but I had to think about my son. I had an old man, my son named Reggie, but I call him old man.
Mm-hmm.
He was 16 at the time, or 18, and I have a knife collection. So in my room that I'm in, I can leave out the door and grab a knife if an intruder came in the house.
Okay.
But it's like a collection of them.
Right.
And so when I left, I looked at that knife to grab it and turn around, stab him in the neck, and I was gonna pull his trach out with it.
Mm.
But I thought about my son. Don't think like Snap, the show Snap. It can't go that way.
Mm-hmm.
That don't mean I'm not gonna go to jail. Just because it's self-defense and I'm all beat up and bloody, I might have still had to go to jail that night. And then when my son comes home from his weekend at his friend's house and he's home alone, who's gonna take care of him?
Saved by the thought of your son.
There's nobody
He was
comes to see
saved by
me.
that thought.
They might not come to see him.
Mm-hmm.
So leaving him after this was all over and I could get my sight back is when I said, I'm gonna do what I used to do. I'm going back to school.
Amen.
So I went back to school not because I'm not with him. My memory got triggered that, hey, this is what you used to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went to school.
Mm-hmm.
And
It
I've
was
been-
just natural
I've
for
been
you.
going ever since. I'm still going. Learning different stuff, meeting different people.
Oh, wow.
So, and now seeing my family more. It's a process every day. Some people, they see me and I'm happy-go-lucky because at the moment I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, I haven't seen you in forever. And then we could talk, but you'd have to call me again. Let me know, hey, you remember we talked about that? Or you call me again knowing not to say that and just start another conversation.
Okay.
So,
And I hear what you say about Beauty and the Beast. Being a domestic abuse awareness survivor and advocate, what is one thing that you would like to say to our viewers as far as them thinking that they can, if they stay just a little bit longer, that they can change the person? What is one thing you can say? Because I know it's getting late and we got to wrap it up.
one thing to say, I know you think that it'll change, but if it can be months to years to try to change. But if the change isn't happening, it's not going to happen. I know people, you have to say, I can't stand it no more.
Mm-hmm.
Some people say, how can you stand it? It's because I can.
Mm-hmm.
But when I
Get
can't
tired of being
stand
sick
it
and
anymore,
tired.
that's the only time that I'm going to leave. I don't care how many times you tell me to leave them.
Mm-hmm.
It's when I can't stand it.
You have to get tired of being sick and tired. Enough. Yes, yes. Awesome. Okay, Misty, did you have any questions for any final thoughts or questions?
I just wanted to, the ladies was asking, did he ever hit your kids, abuse your kids?
And I think that was the only thing that, no matter who I'm with, you can't mess with them.
They knew that was off
And
limits.
even my brothers, my family, you know, if they want to talk bad to them, I step in. So they don't even have a chance to even get that close.
Awesome.
And with him, the same way, he might roll his eyes and stomp his feet. But I'm waiting to see if he even puts his hands on them or talks to them in the wrong way. Now, the person you're with might can discipline them verbally, but if I don't put my hands on them, you're not either.
That's right.
Okay, so my last question would be, what is something that you would tell somebody to look out for?
The sign.
Red
As far
flags.
as, like signs, as far as
Yes.
red flags, as far as domestic violence.
Well, anybody who tries to go with me now, they're in trouble. Because there's so many flags, you know. I don't want to, with me, I don't want a smoker. I don't care if you say I'm going outside to smoke, because eventually